Welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica. It's been a long time since I've done an actual sit-down video in my studio, so let's get started. Okay guys, hey, if you guys don't know, my name is Veronica. I am in the military, in the Air Force, and it's been a long time since I've done a strictly talking, chatting military video. I am pregnant, as you guys know, so if I sound out of breath, that is why. If I look sweaty, that is why. If anything looks off, especially in my face, like I've gained weight, I have, because I'm pregnant with our final baby. Starting off this video, I went to Squadron officer school, so I'm officially back, and this video will not be long. I'm promising myself, because I have notes, everything I'm going to talk about. So first off, what is Squadron officer school? So essentially, in the Air Force, every captain is required to attend Squadron officer school, whether it's online for distance learning or in person. So without getting into the nitty-gritty, basically the people who would attend online are like reservists or guard. Most of the time, if you're active duty, they would rather you go in person. For medical, I know it is required for us to go in person. So every corps, every basically career background is different. I do know that since there is a shortage on instructors, they are going to add more distance learning courses. And also during COVID-19, all of my friends, because obviously we're in the same peer groups, so all of them have done SOS, but they got to go during COVID and it was online, so they loved it. But I originally, as you guys know, I went to AFOQT, and when you're an AFOQT, they code you for 2 years and they say, hey, you can't do any TDYs, nothing. And I really wanted to go en route, and they're like, don't worry, your base will have plenty of opportunities. Well, I get to one of the largest medical wing in the only medical wing in the Air Force, and that's how large we are, and it was really hard to get a slot. But luckily, God and my essentially bosses had my back. I did not know or anticipate that I was going to go pregnant, so that's a whole another thing that I think I will do a separate video on what it's like going TDY pregnant. It was real fun, and I was in my 3rd trimester, but I am going to be submitting my record to promote for major in the beginning of 24. So that means they'll pull my record at the end of 23. And I'll be getting back from maternity leave, because that is now longer in the Air Force. So plus I have use or lose a lot of days. So needless to say, I didn't want to be worrying about postpartum, breastfeeding, pumping, and then trying to deal with that. So I pressed them to go, and yes, pregnant women are allowed to go now. So technically I was gone for 5.5, 6 weeks because of travel days. So for SOS, just think 6 weeks. So you are TDY that whole entire time. You will go to Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama. That's where all the officers go for training for OTS, which is why I said it was a little triggering in my vlog, because woo, I did not have the best OTS experience. SOS, Squadron Officer School, so SOS. SOS is nothing like OTS, BOT, TFOT, COT, what else am I missing? OTS, nothing. It's nothing like that. So when you go, you won't have to have anyone yelling at you or anything like that, and it'll be a fun time. So what you need to pack is essentially how you would pack for OTS or any long TDY. I brought a large suitcase. I should have brought 2 bags. You do get 2 free bags for military. We are on orders, so make sure you take advantage of that. But somehow I fit everything in one suitcase, and I was proud of myself. It was definitely, I was over by 2 pounds, but they don't care when you're military, so. But pack all your uniforms. I would say bring 2 to 3 uniforms. I brought 2. And I did laundry twice a week. So 2 uniforms, 1 pair of boots, your PT. I brought 2 uniforms for PT. I bought all the pregnancy things that I needed, my pregnancy pillow, extra blankets, sheets, stuff like that. Obviously, you don't have to pack that. And then I brought clothes. But essentially, you can go and travel and do whatever you want on the weekends, as long as you're allowed to, and that's been approved. So if you're wanting to dress up or go swimming or something, bring a bathing suit. Obviously in Alabama, on base, the pool was not open because it's January. In my opinion, the best time to go is January, February. I would say December, January, February, because even November, I would say November through February, because Alabama gets really hot. I wore my jacket once. I did not need to bring my jacket, but one day it was super cold. But because I'm so hot and pregnant, like I never wore my jacket. Also, a lot of people didn't wear jackets. It would be like super cold in the morning, but by the time you get out of class, like around noon or 1, it would be like 60 degrees. And even though that's not hot, it's so humid in Alabama. Like you take a shower, you step out, and you're like, oh, my face is melting. Pack enough stuff to sustain you for 5 to 6 weeks. Don't overpack. But also, if you underpack, there is an exchange there, the mall, Target, Walmart. So if you need to go buy things, you know, I bought Tide Pods. Laundry is free there. You just have to buy stuff to wash your clothes. So I bought Tide Pods, my smelly stuff that you sprinkle in, and then dryer sheets. And I wash, like I said, twice a week, and I had a laundry bag. Let's move into like what to expect. How was it? Like, what do you do? So essentially, SOS is like professional military education, so PME. It's like your first professional development education, PDE, that you get to go to. So a lot of times when you are an officer and you're submitting to become the next rank, they'll ask you if you have your PDE or PME completed for your appropriate rank. If you are an LT, you're not going to have any. If you're a captain, you're going to have SOS, and that there is no pressure to get it done until before you promote to major. That's very important. Some corps do not require you to have it done. Like I've heard of medical corps, like doctors not having it done and they still promote. For MSCs, me, that's not possible. Get your PME done. Essentially, I was in class every day from, I want to say 9. The first week was like 8 to 12, and then the second week was like 9 to 12. I was in an amazing squadron called the Night Squadron, and then my SOS flight commander was awesome. She did not force us to do anything. She did not force us to be in class all day. You will find that there are other squadrons who do force you to be in class all day, or other flight commanders who are like, yeah, we're gonna be in class from 8 to 4:30 or 8 to 3. And to be honest, sometimes military topics can come redundant, especially when we learned some of the PowerPoints, I was like, we already know this. So that is just my feedback on that. But essentially, I was not in class all day, so I loved that. After I got out of class, I usually checked my emails, or I was checking my emails in class, not gonna lie. We did have homework assignments, very easy, like reflecting on yourself. We had one paper, had to be 3 pages, very easy to write those 3 pages. And then we had, I think, 2 team projects. So overall, I will say that the workload for classwork is very low threat. Moving on to physical activities, a lot of people want to know, do you run a lot? Yes, you do. I wouldn't say you run a lot. Again, for my squadron, we did not run a lot at all. They started it off with saying our squadron does not run a lot. And I was like, woo. Now, I am super pregnant and I am high risk. So I am not allowed to run. That was one of the things my doctor was like, you can't run, you can't walk too far, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't get to engage in that. But for my other friends in the squadrons, they did have to run like the first week, and then our final week you kind of run 2 5Ks, but really it was equivalent of like, I would say 4 miles instead of 2 5Ks, just from watching everyone and feedback. Okay, let me get my watch out, time you. It's kind of like, oh, you finished the fastest, congratulations, here's your points, or here's your little trophy. You run as a flight, so whatever flight you're assigned to, you can run as slow as you want. Like there wasn't pressure to be like an Olympian. Although there was some Olympians out there, let me tell you. And then also, again, in that last week, you'll do a fitness test, but they call it something else. I'm not going to reveal everything. But again, there's no pressure. It's not like a normal fitness test, but you do push-ups, sit-ups, and a run. So one other physical activity they have is called flex. And we had 2 people get hurt. People get hurt in flex every class. Some serious injuries come out of flex, and I'm not going to reveal what essentially it is because then you would have advantage over a lot of people. But I am going to reveal that if you were to take military operations, dodgeball, not dodgeball, and then also maybe bocce ball, I don't know, knocking over stuff, and combine it and mix it all into one with all military names, that's flex. We did have to play like military games with a computer game. We did that as well. And then other than that, we did like little challenges that they call different names, but essentially you're like running around the base and like problem solving. So we did all of that in a matter of 5 to 6 weeks. I signed up for extracurriculars activities. You do not have to. You do have to take extracurriculars on top of your classwork. So it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Like one block they'll have like, oh, it's extracurricular activities this afternoon. They had touring Rosa Parks' apartment as an extracurricular. They had YouTube videos where you just watch it on your own, nothing, like no homework. So it's really up to you. And other than that, like I said, every week they have scheduled out to the T. But like I said, your weekends are free. As soon as you get out of class, unless you have homework or something else is free. My squadron and flight like to drink, okay? So they were throwing it back every opportunity, and I was like, oh my gosh, are your livers okay? You know, that was I think for me, that was great that I was pregnant because military environments are kind of like high school and college mixed together when you go TDY, and it's like everyone wants to network and party and hang out and have dinner every night. And I was in my 3rd trimester and I could not hang, and I was happy to go to bed. But what people don't realize is like I would do that even if I wasn't pregnant. I'm very much an introvert and homebody. Like you may catch me out like once a week. So SOS is like, I don't want you to be nervous to go to SOS. I want you to be excited. Whatever squadron or flight you get into, you are going to cross talk and network. I met some amazing people who I still text to this day. And it's just like another military family to add on to my already military family. So I just think that I had so much anxiety and pressure because I was pregnant, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be the only pregnant girl. How can I hide my stomach? I don't want people to know. And there was like 6 other pregnant girls there, and a couple of them had bellies just as big as me. I was definitely the furthest along because 3rd trimester, definitely my doctor was like, this is the last week you can travel, and it matched up. But yeah, so, and then the last thing that I will say that you do compete in is Project X, which are the obstacle courses, the exact same from OTS. I'm not sure what I'm leaving out, but I don't want to give away everything because I want there to be some ambiguity and also some type of surprise and something for you to look forward to. But overall, don't be scared of SOS. You will have a great time. If you're in the night squadron, have fun, because you will. If you're in any of the other squadrons, I can't speak for you. But anyways, I'm happy to be back. I can't believe I did that this pregnant, and I really enjoyed my time, met great people, and now back to having this baby and getting back to work. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.